Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. On this tutorial I want to show you how I decorated three cocomelon cake. Yeah, so last week was just cocomelon. So we had three others, two tiered cake and then two single others. They were all cocomelon. So on this tutorial you're going to see how I decorated them and all that. And then you know that every cake order I have, I always record, film it, and then show you, because I know a lot of people are learning from my channel, and it's indeed a privilege, to have you all here. I have subscribers who are watching from the USA, from the Caribbean, from Brazil, Africa, Australia, Canada, just name it. So a lot of people are learning from my video. So I wouldn't say I've posted a tutorial before, so I won't post it again. In case we have new subscribers who are just seeing the video for the first time, who are just seeing my videos for the first time, they would also learn. So this is basically how I stack and trim my cake. I know a lot of you will say, oh, you did not wet the cake, you did not put a lot of filling. This is how my clients wanted their cake. If they want it wet and then with lots of filling and all that, I also do it. So basically, in Africa or in Nigeria, this is how our cakes are made. Our chunk of layers are tall, or they are big, and then we avoid wetting the cake with sugar syrup, because sometimes it makes it too sweet, and then we know we don't really like too much sugar like that. Or I will speak for myself, and then most of my customers, they will always say, oh, I want it less sugar, I don't want too much sugar. So that is why we don't use sugar syrup to wet our cake here. Sometimes though, not all the time. Today's beautiful hug is for Carol Pitts. She's watching from the USA. Carol, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm so glad that you are learning from my channel. Thank you so much. So please let us know where you're watching us from. Let us send you a hug in our next video. When you are the first person to comment and tell us where you're watching us from, I would pin your comment in the comment section so that I can send you a hug in my next video. So for the first cake, I'm doing the two-tier cake first. So I'm using, like I said, it's a cocomelon theme cake, and we'll be using lots and lots of colors. This is lemon, and I always make my fondant from scratch, right? The recipe, the fondant recipe is on my channel, so you can go through the channel, see it and watch it. It is absolutely nice. Like, a lot of people have shared their review on it. So you can search the channel, watch the video, and make your fondant at home by yourself. It's actually very easy to make your fondant from scratch. So usually we make our fondant from scratch here. We don't buy store-bought fondant, even though we have brands who sell like that. But here in Busy Bee Cakes, we make our fondant. And like you always know, I like using the paneling method to cover my cake. So this cake is a 12-inch cake, and then an 8-inch will be coming on top. So that's why I'm covering the base first, which is the lemon, and then the 8-inch will come on top. Using paneling method saves you lot and lot of fondant. It will not waste your fondant like the drape method, and it's quite easy. Instead of using the drape method where you would have to smoothen it. Sometimes some parts will not be smooth, some parts you will have some folds and all that. So paneling method will give you an excellent look, and anybody can do it, whether you are a master in cake decorating, or you are a beginner, or you're an expert. Anybody can do a paneling method. Just ensure that you have a good fondant, and then ensure that you measure your cake. That is absolutely important, because sometimes if you don't measure, you may have less fondant or more. So that is why it's good to measure. After measuring, measure your cake, and then you measure it on the fondant before you wrap it around the cake. All right. So if you notice for my cake, after cutting off the excess fondant, I use my smoother to bring the fondant down again and then cut it. That is just to ensure that when I flip the cake over, the edges will be absolutely sharp, like you can see in this video, right? So I do it twice. There's no rule that says you cannot do your sharp edge twice or 3 times. You know, if you flip it over and then you notice that it's not too sharp, you flip it again and do it again, cut off the excess and then flip it. That is just that. So we are done with that, and then here I'm adding sky blue color to homemade fondant to give me the sky blue, because like I said, it's a cocomelon theme cake, and then you know children love lots of colors and all that, so that's why I am adding this one. So like I said, the next tier, the next cake that's coming on this 12 inch is 8 inch, so I needed 4-inch difference between the tier. So you can do 3-inch, it is absolutely nice, but what I don't recommend is 2-inch difference if you are making a tiered cake. 2-inch difference is not good because it makes your cake looks too small. But if you have a 3-inch difference between your tier or 4-inch, it makes your cake look big. So next time you're making a tier cake, please ensure to do it like that, you know, so that your cake will be beautiful. You can see how we already go in, and then at the end of the video you will see how it turned out. So here there was a huge mistake. You know, I like to record my mistakes, right? I don't like cutting them off, so that you would know that you can be an expert and still make mistakes, right? So while I was trying to leave the fondant and put on the cake, that place tore. And instead of removing it entirely, I'm starting all over because I know that the fondant will be a mess because the cake crumbs will now be on it. I decided to leave it like that. So if you're working on a cake, when you're having a challenge, don't beat yourself. Even professional, master, experts, they make mistakes and they go ahead with the job. That's why if you've been watching my video, you know that if I make mistake, I will still film it and show you, so that when you are making yours, if you make a mistake, continue, don't beat yourself, you know. So that place, I just thought maybe after stacking it, I would put maybe a mold or something to just cover it up, right? People make mistakes a lot. Like I used to, when I make such mistakes, I used to just cut off when I'm editing, I'll just cut it off and say it's not necessary. But no, I've learned not to, you know, cut off my mistakes when I'm making a cake. I will just film it, add it like that, so that will be an encouragement to somebody who may be passing through the same challenge you get. So while trying to lift the fondant and put it on the cake, that was when that happened, and I continued. So if you're having the same challenge, please continue. By the time you're done, there must be a solution to it, right? So this is the third one. Here I decided to wrap to roll the fondant. This is another trick. You know, if you cannot lift your fondant the way it is and just wrap it around the cake, you can fold it. After thinning it out, you can fold it and wrap it around the cake. This is another method. So there are no rules to this. Like I said, whatever is convenient, comfortable, easy for you, please go right ahead, right? So you can lift it and wrap on the cake like a wrapper, or you'd fold it like a sausage and wrap it around the cake. Either ways, they both work, right? So sometimes I just feel lifting it and putting it on the cake is easier for me sometimes. Other times, if the fondant is if the cake is big, you know, you would know that lifting it up and putting it like that will tear your fondant, or something will go on. Just wrap it like a sausage, and then maybe you can even use your rolling pin, wrap it. But this particular one, I did not put it on the rolling pin. I just wrapped it like that and then applied it on the cake. If at this point you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe, comment, like and share. Tell us where you're watching us from and we'll send you a hug. So this was it. We are done covering all the cake. The method of covering is the same for all the tier, right? So you can watch one and then do the other ones like that if you have a cake. So right now, like I said, it's a 2-tiered cake. For this particular one, you would want to measure your cake and then centralize it. So that would be the center of your dough, of your stacking board. This board I have on the cake is a stacking board. Do not stack a cake without a stacking board. So these are just dough PVC pipes, used to do not stack your cake without a dough rod and pipes. So your cake, the other tier is sitting on this pipe, so the pressure is not directly on the base tier, right? That's why you make a cake and after some time you see that the cake is tilting. Right? So always ensure that you put your dough rod or your piping rods, and then you put a stacking board. Like beneath this bed there is a stacking board already, so I just use the other one to mark it and also to show you that what a stacking board looks like. So here you can see that the work is almost done. So you can see that the cake is sitting pretty. The pressure is not on the base tier, and I tell you, this cake can stay for long and nothing will happen to it. It will not tilt and all that. So here, you know that I like using this method to cover my board, but I realized that doing it on a 2-tiered cake was rough, you see, so I removed it and I used another method, right? Like I said, I will always show you my mistakes, I will show you my breakthroughs, I will show you the easy method and the ones that did not work at a particular time. So here, this is just a messy paste. You want to use your messy paste and stick your stickers to your cake. So you see, when that method of cutting the fondant in the middle and wrapping it on the cake did not work, I had to do it like this. This still works perfectly. So like I said, do not beat yourself. If you do a particular thing, it did not work, look for another way and do it again, right? So here I just needed to use this embosser on it, right? And then it worked perfectly. So tell me, what have you learned so far? If you're a new subscriber, what have you learned so far? If you're an old subscriber, did you learn anything so far from the cake? Please let me know in the comment section. You know, your comment means a lot to me. It helps me drop videos and knowing that people are learning from it. Like I said, I always say that in my video, I learned baking on YouTube. You too can. Solely on YouTube. I'm a self-taught baker. I'm a home baker. I learned baking on the street. So that's why I'm putting up these videos to give back to the platform that has given me so much. All right, so you too can. So here we needed to make rainbows. All right, we needed to make rainbows for the cake. I had to sit here. I actually did it on another table. I did it 2 days or so, 2 or 3 days to the day I made the cake, so that they can dry. All right, so while editing, I just decided to combine all the videos together, So for the rainbow, we are using different colors. We are using blue, we are using lemon, orange, yellow, violet color, and then I think red. Yeah, red. So we are using a lot of colors for the rainbow, and it's a child's cake. It's a cocomelon cake, so you can use as many colors as you want. So in this video, I'm just showing you how these colors are combined. When you want to combine colors, this is how you do it on your fondant cake, so you don't need to stress yourself. So just combine the colors, combine them, and then before you start making your rainbow. Blue is one color that will always mess up your hand. That is just shortening. Put it on your hand to ensure that the fondant is not sticky to your hand, or you can use cornstarch, whichever works for you. But in this tutorial, I use shortening, so that worked perfectly for me, and then that's just it. So when you are done mixing your colors, you want to start rolling out the fondant. So if you notice, I'm using my palm. I'm not using my finger. I'm using my palm, and then a rolling. Sorry, what's it called? Smoother. A smoother, right? So that's the only way to make it very smooth. I see some rainbows. You'll be seeing dents, the dents on the cake, on the rainbow. That's not so good. So that is why you need a smoother. When you use a smoother, it makes it very very smooth, and then you will not be seeing the dent. You can see how beautiful it is already. That is because there are no dents, and you are using see, you can see I'm using my palm, the heel part, the hilly part, I don't know what they call it, the hilly part of the palm. That's where I use, and then I use a smoother, just like that. So that is the only way to make it smooth. You see. So you have to do all the colors that you want to use, just like that. After making them, then you start arranging them using water, right, to glue them together, just water. So here I'm going to teach you. The reason why I did not fast forward the video so much is because I want to show you there are different methods of making this rainbow. You can use straw board. Maybe if you need it urgently, use straw board so that it will not fall off. But if you have time to allow it dry on its own, you don't need straw board on it. So I'm showing you all the two methods or the three methods that I use here, so you can make yours, right? So this is what a straw board looks like. If you're finding it difficult cutting your straw board, because I made a video one time, somebody was asking me, how did you do it? How did you cut it? So this is one method. If you're a beginner who does not know how to cut out these things and start making it on it, just arrange it the way you want it, then put it on the straw board, mark it out and cut it. It's very easy. This is one easy method that works, right? After that, put water. You can use water or messy paste and then just stick it. It works perfectly like this. This is one easy method for beginner. But if you're not a beginner, you already know how to do these things. Just cut out the straw board and then arrange it on it. This is one method. So this is another method. Like I said, I'm showing you different methods of making this rainbow. But this one this one has a lot of maths in it. So that is why I showed you that one first, so that you will see that you can do it either ways. This one is also easy, but it has a lot of mathematics, right? You have to calculate before you will be able to do it. So this one, you can cut it out and start rolling your fondant and be putting it on top, right? Be putting it on it. Or you arrange it first, place it on the straw board, cut it out, and then remove it. So whichever works for you, right? Whichever works for you, you can do it. I think I'll make a separate video on this, on it, and post it for people who want to learn how to do this rainbow. You can see that this one is quite easy as well. After cutting it out, to start arranging everything on it, just like that. Or you arrange it first, then before you put it on it, whichever works. This one works perfectly as well. They are both beautiful. So you see, these are the ones I've made. So this is another one. This one I'm not putting anything under, so I'm just going to do it, leave it out to dry, leave it out to dry, and then use it on my cake like that. Then insert skewer or toothpick on it. Just leave it out like that. It will still dry. So like I said, these are 3 different methods. Whichever you like, you want to use, please go right ahead. They all work perfectly. Right? If at this point you've not subscribed, you've not dropped a comment, you've not liked, you've not shared, please kindly do that. It's encouraging. It helps me drop lots of videos here. Please do that. Let me know where you're watching us from. We'll send you a hug in our next video. Thank you so much for staying glued to my page. I appreciate you a lot. So it's just water that you use to stick it together. Just water, room temperature water and all that. Just water. After that, you cut it off. So this, I'm not putting anything under this. I'll just leave it out to dry. So here I molded a teddy. A teddy. Making a teddy is very easy. So I'll be using them on the cake. So you too can. There's nothing impossible to him that believe it. Yeah. If you trust that you can do it, you can do it. Alright, so this is how I made my teddy. I'll be using them on the cake. If it's too fast, please let me know. I will drop a simpler and easier, a slower version. Thank you. So we are done with all that. Coming back to the cake. If you use the straw board, so you hide the straw board inside the fondant. So this is very important so that your clients will not be seeing straw board on their topper, on their cake. So here, you see, you want to hide it. Roll out your fondant, place it on it, and then just cut it out. The reason why you could also do it without the straw board and just leave it out to dry like that. But this is a tall one. I don't want to put it on the cake and then it will be bending or falling off the cake. So that's why I use a straw board. Straw board makes it very sturdy. And then you're not afraid that it's going to break off and fall off. So that's why straw board is very important. Straw board are sold in stationery shops like bookshops and all. Even some baking shops, they sell it or more. You can use it. If you don't have straw board, you can use paper, very thick paper, or even carton, thick cartons and all that. So just use whatever is available to you. Like I always say, there are no rules to these things. You can use anything, right? So you can see it's very easy using the straw board. This is the other one that I've done. You see, to just stay, and you're not scared that it's going to fall off or it's going to break off. In fact, we took this cake to a very far location away from my city, and it stood still. Like I posted a shot, right? You will see that even when we got to the location, the cake was still standing very tall. So you see. So straw boards are very important, especially when they are going to be standing like this. But if you don't have straw board, you use carton. If you don't have carton, use thick paper. If you don't have thick paper, use it like that. But just ensure that you do it days to the day you'll be using it on the cake so that they can dry very well. So like I said, it's a cocomelon theme. All the printables, I printed them on. I saved them on Pinterest. and then went to a printing shop and printed them out because I don't have a printer myself. But if you have a printer, you can always print them out. All right, so this is the second one. So if you notice on the first one, I used a rainbow cutter, but this particular one, I just needed it to be bigger. That's why I did this method. Just arrange balls of fondant and then cover it up. That will give you your rainbow. Right? See? Very easy. Please let me know if you learned anything from this video from the beginning to this time. And all. This is the third one, the third cake. Like I said, they are all cocomelon theme cakes. So let me know if you like them. Right? Thank you so much. So here, the leftover fondant I had when I made the rainbow, I just made them into balls, inserted toothpick into them and allowed them dry. So that is what you have there. That is what you have there. I just used it to decorate the cake, and there I put the teddy bear. So the name of the celebrant is Locus. So I just made it like that. So here, the cakes were all done. So I needed to just stuff the cornstarch and steam the cake, right? So this cake took a day. We baked it 2 days. We baked it on Thursday, covered it on Saturday. We baked it on Thursday, covered it on Friday, and then Saturday was the event. So we traveled with it to the location, and you can see it. Do you like them? Are they beautiful? Did you learn anything new? Please kindly let me know in my comment section, and tell us where you're watching us from. If you're the first commenter, I will pin your comment and I will send you a hug in my next video. To everyone subscriber, you are the real MVP. I appreciate your time here. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for encouraging me. I am glad that you are learning a lot from me. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.